Well, that was my video of from 1970 and 1980s of my life, and oh yeah, that's right. Okay, tornado in 1980 tornado in Kalamazoo, Michigan. But before that, 1976, I got my driver's license while I was in school still, and of course I graduated in 1977. I got my driver's license, and then I got a Datsun truck because I got my dad's Social Security as long as I stayed a full-time student in school. So in 1976, I got my driver's license, and I got a Datsun truck. That was my first vehicle. But now in 1980s, yeah, that was a big deal. I started working, you know, um, after I got out. Actually, I worked a little bit before in the 1970s, but that's a little bit. But I was going to school too, so until 1979 in Kalamazoo Valley Community College, I had 2 years, and I took mostly. Well, now I'm back in the 1970, 79, okay, or 78. Yeah, 79 was my last year. Because after that, I couldn't get Social Security no more because my dad died. I got his Social Security until as long as I was a full-time student, and then let's see, 1980. Okay, now I'm going to talk about 1980. Um, that was a big year because I went to work. I was a factory rat at an office supply place, and I drove forklift and a little bit because that's just a little small shop, and so I drove a little bit of forklift, like on an old truck, and but I was mainly shipping and receiving, mainly receiver there, but so I got a job there, and we all were looking out the window, me and three or four other people. Wow, this guy's really black down there, black as hell, as black as we ever saw it. We're all looking out the window and it's raining, and it wasn't good weather, and this is May 3rd, 1980. Yeah, it's on a Tuesday. It's on a Tuesday, May 3rd, 1980. Look it up on YouTube. You'll see the tornado. What had happened is come down from a few miles away, right? Then I guess it went up, come back down in Kalamazoo downtown, where the ISB building, the bank building, ISB building, all the windows were blown out of that building. But before that, watch the video on YouTube. Just type 1980 Kalamazoo, Michigan tornado, or some kind of search like that. You come up with it. This guy back then we didn't have iPhones. We didn't have movie cameras readily available in 1980. So these guys had a movie camera, and they worked there. There's like two or three of them standing outside looking for the tornado. Where's the tornado at? With a movie camera. Where's the tornado? Oh, there's some black clouds over there, but let's see. Oh, that's it. That's the tornado right there. That's it. That's it. And they're all amazed. They're all amazed, right? And they're stunned, Oh, there it is. Because we never had tornado in Kalamazoo. It's all valley, We got hills to the right, to the north, to the south, to the east and west. There's hills. It's all in a valley. That's where our downtown was, right down at the bottom of the valley. And because there's hills on all sides, so we never thought we could ever get a tornado down there. And boy, once the tornado does get down in the valley, man, it wreaks havoc, and it caused like $6 million worth of damage. And the ISB building was 6 stories high, I think, 5 or 6 stories high, with a bunch of windows. They were all blown out, and everything sucked out of the building, And 2 people died under Gilmore's wall. Gilmore, that's a retail store for clothing, for men and women clothing. And the guy I worked with at the place where we were looking out the window, he worked there too, and I think I forget if he worked in the office part though. So I don't know if he was looking out the window or not, but his wife worked down there in Gilmore's. His last name was Wellington. Okay, and you'll hear this under the news feed of the 1980 May 3rd tornado. Wellington. I knew that guy and his wife. I didn't know his wife, but I knew him. And his wife died, and she got sucked out of the hallway with another. There was another lady too, got sucked out and sucked under that wall. And as the wall collapsed, it collapsed on that. And those two women. Those are the two women that died in that tornado. But I knew that her husband. And what happened is they just got married like a week. It was like a week, maybe 2 weeks just before that. So this guy went all his whole life, his whole fucking life, found the person he wanted to marry. That person was taken away from him after a week, 2 weeks. It's bullshit. And man, when I found that out, I'm going, God damn this. You know, you went your whole fucking life. You went your whole life, and now you're saying I do. And you get married, and a week later, 2 weeks, it's gone. But his wife died in that tornado under Gilmore's wall. She got sucked out. She got sucked out of the hallway underneath the wall as it was collapsing on her. So. But anyway, we were all looking out the window and saying, God damn, we never saw the sky so black. And those people were downtown with the movie camera. They were looking up the sky. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Oh, wow. Wow. And they kind of looked at it for a while. No, it's coming towards us. It's coming. Oh, we gotta get down in the basement. So they opened the door, got halfway down the steps, and the light was went out. Halfway down the steps, the tornado was hitting right then. Soon, halfway down the steps, they couldn't even get halfway down the steps, and the tornado was already hitting. That's how close that was. That was really close. You gotta watch it. Just type 1980 Kalamazoo, Michigan, May 3rd, 1980 Kalamazoo, Michigan tornado. It's there. I watch it every so often just to remind me, and just so I can go back in time, back in 1980. Since today is 2015, today is 8/4/2015, and I can go on YouTube, look back in time. I can look back in time and type in 1980 tornado Kalamazoo, Michigan, and see the the cars and the people and everything back in the 1980s. It's like going back in time. It's great. I do that every so often, just for remembrance of that. That tornado was like a marker, man. I mean, everybody who's born, even if they're 2 years old, knows about the 1980 tornado in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And okay, so I'm in 1980, and I'm playing video games. I'm playing really great video games. Atari 2600, and television, and the ColecoVision, all the great systems, all the video game systems. And by the way, my video game site name is Funkadelic Video Game Technology, free to join, free to play, free to get paid.com. Vote, or not, okay, vote for Donald Trump. Donald Trump will make the best president in 2016. He's a genius, so vote for Big D, vote for Donald Trump. I had to put that plug in there. But my video game site name is Funkadelic Video Game Technology, free to join, free to play, free to get paid.com. See how easy that is to remember? And it's free. It's all free. You don't get no freer than that. Let's get paid for free. Get paid for free, play for free. Join for free. It's like my video game site name says. So do it, join it. But 1980, okay, I'm playing video games. I'm watching MTV, yeah, oh yeah. I love the 1979, it's from 1979 to 1990. Shit, that whole decade. Love video, MTV. I'd record them on VHS. It was VHS back then. And I'd be recording them and keeping my best videos, and I lost them all. Somehow I lost them all. But I had all my great videos on it. That was so cool. The videos of MTV 1980s, 1979 to 1990, yeah. rock and roll videos on MTV. And then rap came around and killed MTV. It's like uh, radio video killed the radio star. That was the first video on MTV. It was the first video on MTV when it first aired. And it's just like that. Video killed the radio star. That's so true. And one guy on my bowling team says that isn't true, but he's full of shit. That's true. Video did kill the radio star. I mean, people you know just have a TV or radio. Nobody, you know, in their car maybe, you know. But 1980s. Let's see, I graduated in 1977. Born 1958. So 80s, I went to work. We saw the tornado. Went to work for Elan Brothers for 2 years. I worked under Wise. I worked under Wise personnel for 2 years at Elan Brothers. So I was getting dogged pretty good there, you know, in pay. As a shipping receiver, forklift driver. Then I got a job. See, I worked there 2 years, and I got a job at Total Plastics. Total Plastics, you know, all plastics company. Total Plastic. And they were on Wynn Road at the time. And I stayed there for 17 years, like a dumbass. I left there in 2000. What happened is they were moving downtown, you know, down the north side at the old Green Bay Packing Company. They were moving down there in the north side. I'm going, I don't want to go down there. That's too far. I want to stay within 2 miles of where I work, right? You know, so I can come home and let my dogs out, you know, because I always had dogs. And at the time, I had a Scotty and a Jack Russell. And so when it became mandatory overtime, I decided I ain't showing up and I ain't calling in. So I did that one time. The boss comes up to me and says, where were you on mandatory overtime on Saturday? I said, I wasn't here, was I? And so I was calculating. Okay, that's that. So the next following Saturday, mandatory overtime, because we're moving downtown. We're going to be moving downtown, so we have overtime, right? And I'm a CNC router operator. I was a CNC router operator for 10 years. What it is, it has 4 heads. It has 4 heads like this, come down like this. And you're going to have a drill and a router on each head. Drill and router on each head. And I had one table. Okay, and then we had the dual table, so I ran both. But what it is the table goes like this, which is the X, and the 4 heads are on a carriage, which go like this, which is Y, and then the downward motion, you know, when it goes down the drill, or if it goes down to route, or drill, that's the Z, okay? So you got the X, the Y, and the Z. I was CNC router operator for 10 years. Okay, I busted my ass every day. I put out maximum production, and I never missed a day there at Total Plastics. So the second Saturday came, and it was overtime. I didn't show. I didn't call because I wanted to get fired so I could get unemployment, so I could look for a job, a better paying job. So they says, okay, the second time, I was just called in the office. The boss didn't say that. I was just called in the office. So I said, okay, you're done. I said, okay. And I had perfect attendance up until then, up for those 2 days that I intentionally missed because I wanted to get fired. So they, you know, so I got fired. So I could get unemployment and then, you know, go find a job. So I did. Found a job at Bentler. I was a lower control arm. I was a robot welder for lower control arms for all vehicles. And that's the first job I ever felt physical on. And that was grabbing the parts and putting, you know, left and right control arm on, and then putting on a stamper, and then putting them on a rack to cool down, because they were red hot when you took them off, and then the stamper, and then they're still red hot when you put them on the rack. That's why I got a tattoo right here, because the rack is right here and they're red hot. So that just one little touch like that, and I was scarred right there. So that's why I decided to put a tattoo there. But So then I worked there for almost 2 months. After 2 months, I started out only like $8.50 an hour, and I was gonna make like $13 an hour after a couple months. Where I left a job working there 17 years, and the last 10 years was CNC router operator, only making $10. So I was really happy about that. And then I was still looking for a job, so I got a job at Intercal, and that's at the end of Cork Street, across the street, across Sprinkle Road, a major road here in Kalamazoo. I worked there for 5 years under a union. Well, I'd get laid off every year, which is fine, because I'd get $720 every 2 weeks for unemployment. So that's what, 360, what is that, 360, I think it was $362 every week I'd get. So $370 every 2 weeks. You know, just sit on my ass doing nothing. You know, except for playing video games, watching videos I want to watch, or, you know, what video will I watch today? What video game will I watch? What will I do today? And that's about what it was. You know, for 6 months. I was working 6 months, off 6 months, except for 1 year. 1 year I worked the full year. Other than that, I volunteered every year. Even the first year, I volunteered for a layoff, because that's what they do on a union shop. They come by and ask everybody, you know, the people who are higher up, you know, been there, have more seniority. They ask them, would you like to take a voluntary layoff? And most people would say no. Some people would say yes. I said yes, and I just walked in the door. And I just become in the union, you know, a couple months ago, you know. So once you're in the union, then they have to call you back before they call anybody else, you know. You know, it's not in union. So what happened is 1 year they didn't call me back. That really put me in a bind. But I better stop this for a second.